Hello there, and welcome back to the Deutschland map. We pick up at just after we've harvested the barley from last time out, and we have some straw to collect. In the meantime, let's have a quick look. I'm just worried about the rain, to be honest. Just looked at that 1 o'clock, so we have 2 hours to collect our straw before we don't want it to get damaged. So we have our goats. They are doing fine, full of water, 400 litres of grass, and we have 2.5 pallets really of goat's milk. So that's quite good. We're doing well. The goats look very, very happy in their long grass. Hello there. So we're going to get onto the baler and collect some of our straw. So move this pressure washer out of the way. Actually, we're going to need it to clean off a harvester and header. So that's good. And Deutschland, So get onto our baler and start collecting some straw to sell in January. So yeah, that will be hopefully a nice little income booster. We don't have that much in terms of cereal crops this year. We've planted our 2 fields of sugar beets, which hopefully we can start harvesting this month, and yeah, get that sold, because that's going to be a massive boost to the bank account. And yeah, just see then if we can get another field added to our farm, which will be quite nice progress. Or do we want to go down the animal route? I think we're going to need, if we're using the crop rotation scheme, crop rotation to its full effect, then we're going to need to have at least 5 fields before. There we go. I was wondering why that wouldn't unfold. We're going to need to have at least 5 fields to ensure we can rotate our fields correctly. Because we're always going to need one of grass, essentially, for either hay or silage. If we're going to go down the cow route for pigs, we're going to need always at least 1 field of corn as kind of the ideal feed for them, which kind of ticks 50% of their boxes. So we're going to go and get this field baled up. We're currently on 0 bales. So yeah, let's get this done. That was relatively painless in terms of collection of straw. Let's get this spat out. Lovely. The painful bit was going to be around the collection of the bales. We have produced 15 bales, so it's a decent amount, not too many. Trees interest on our time, so we're going to get the trailer and the telehandler in the field and collect some of these bales. This in cab, because we're, unless I change the field of view, which would probably be the sensible point, then it's quite difficult to see when you're in cab in this tractor, but it's a fantastic tractor in terms of power. So there we go, that's parked in. Let's disconnect, turn off, and I think we need to get into our Kubota to get into the field and then we can start collecting some of these bales with the telehandler. So that's going to be a tight turn. Can we go round? Yes. Very nice. And get onto our Bailey trailer. Let's get up to the field with this, and then we'll get into the telehandler and start the process of the bale collections. What I'm hoping to be able to do is move on to the sugar beet harvest, or at least get that started, so we can make the money. And then in December we should get an additional payment out from the government in terms of for planting what they asked us to do. So here we go. Ideally want to try and get this into the middle of the field. Just as a central point where we can get the bales. So into the telehandler. Fantastic little machines, telehandlers. See them a lot at Formula 1, lifting Formula 1 cars up. Appreciate they're not that heavy, but still a fairly decent weight, and the collection of those and moving them away from the side of the Formula 1 tracks. British Grand Prix was the weekend, well, I'm recording this on the 7th of July, so yeah, it was this weekend. So yeah, we're gonna collect these bales and get them. Oh, why do I never appropriately address the bale? I always want to go over the top. It's touched. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. So 15 bales to collect. Hopefully get this done relatively quickly. Drop them into the storage shed, and then we're good to go. Yes, it worked. There we go. Right. Okay. Time lapse, and hopefully this field will be painless. Painless-ish on the collection of these bales, so nice and happy just before the rain's about to start. I also remembered I don't have the moisture mod turned on in this series, so basically in terms of recording, what I try and do is do 3 episodes of Grape and then 3 more episodes of the Deutschland, and kind of do it on that rotation. So I've just done the 3 episodes on the Grape series, and yeah, so that's all sorted. So that's why I think I forget of what mods I've got turned on, what mods I don't have turned on. But it's just started raining, So let's see if we can get these in. There we go. So now we have in here, what's that, 33, 34 bales of straw and 16 bales of grass. So we've got ample food for our goats, who don't seem to be consuming very much at all. In terms of the sugar beet harvest, we have August, September, and then October that commences on the first field, and then the second field will be November. In terms of schemes, what do we have going on at the moment? Natural fertilizer, that's fine. Rotation hasn't picked up that one yet. So yeah, we're gonna get on to. We're probably going to move on to October, and then get to a point where we're able to harvest the sugar beet. We're not going to do. I can't remember. Sorry, just going to double check something. If we signed up for a winter, yes, we did sign up to the winter cover crop scheme, so we can plant oilseed radish in all the way up to October. So yeah, we can get that started. We can get one field harvest of sugar beets, then plant the oilseed radish. In one of the others, we might do our barley field as oilseed radish too. So that'll be 2 fields operational, as oilseed radish gives a good base for the initial fertilizer, but then also the government will then give us some more money towards the development of our farm. So we're in August at the moment. Then September, I believe, if we check the field map, the field should be a very dark green for sugar beets, so we should then be able to harvest it next month. So we'll have a quick check on that before we move on, and we'll also check on the goats. So in terms of field map, if we go to growth, yeah, so it's a nice dark green there. So next month that'll be ready to harvest. This is obviously one stage behind. We've got a decent amount of crop damage, which is not very nice. That's only 60,000. But I'm thinking I want 25 next. So yeah, one more day of non-farming, and then I think we're going to need another piece of machinery to act as a topper for our sugar beets. So we've got the cage to chuck them into, and we just don't have the topper for it. Right, so we are in October. Let's take a quick trip to field 7, which is remove foliage. So that is nice and ready to harvest. We've got some evil little boars eating some of our sugar beets in the far field. And this doesn't look the same texture on here, so that's still growing. But yeah, some horrible crop damage from the rain. Look at these evil little things. So where is the Deutz? Here is the Deutz. We're going to go pick up our harvester and probably have to purchase the. So what I think we need whilst we're here, we don't want to go in there. So in beet harvesters, this is what they've given us. I think we need this Julius pack so that operates as a pickup, and this removes the foliage. So we're going to rent that. We're going to need our Deutzfahr as our biggest tractor. So we're going to go and pick up the 2 machines and meet you back at the field, and we'll hope and pray that I've managed to get this right. So otherwise it's going to be a very expensive machine to rent in terms of the big sugar beet harvester, which is about £500,000. So yeah, it'd be about 50 grand to rent, which doesn't feel, well, doesn't fill me with optimism and hope. So yeah, back over to I'll meet you back when we're back over to the field and hopefully ready to harvest. Welcome back to the field. This is going to be the moment of truth. So we want to, that's being unfolded, lower topper, turn on topper, and unfold beet wagon. So that's tipping up, that's lower, turn on. Have unfolded, haven't I? Why not? Oh. Gonna go down? Yes. Lift pickup is down, so I'm just feeling slightly nervous as to hoping that this works. So let's lock on to. Why isn't this picking it up? Have I got to get another machine on this to windrow it up? Oh, no. Don't want that. So let's. It's just going to let me do this. So we can do this. And then see if we can put a worker on this part. As we're going to have to go and get another piece of machinery. So he's going to go on to. Is he going to do it? Yes, yes. Ah. Is he spraying it off into the side? Oh no, that's just the foliage. So the crop is here. So these are the sugar beets. He's just spraying the foliage off to the side. So I think we're going to need to get into the Kubota. And then we're going to need another piece of machinery. So what I think we're going to need is this. And then we have this then to drive around and pick things up. So that needs 300 brake horsepower. Whoa. That only needs 185, but that only has 7,000 litres capacity. So we'll see where we're going with how we get on with this, but we're going to definitely need. So this is the sugar beets underground. So the Hallam topping is required, which is what we've been doing. So this is going to be another lease piece of machinery. So that's another £2,000. So into the Kubota, and let's go pick this up from the shop and see if this works. Have we got any tractor demos? I got a funny feeling I'm going to need a third tractor, so no we don't. Yes, to get this done as speedily as possible, we probably need to have an extra tractor on the farm, but no, we've got our Kubota, we have our Deutschland. So I imagine what should happen is that topper is put on, and then we use the machine which we've just rent-leased as kind of the digger and the windrowing side of things. Whereas where I've used the 7,000 capacity one previously, it does also dig it out of the ground. So, oops, shortcut. So yeah, fingers crossed this actually works. Ye of little faith and all that. So as you can see, this kind of, there's what digs out of the ground, and then this does the windrowing and then pushes it onto the side. So I'm hoping this works. Ever so slightly nervous now, if I'm honest, so I'm going to go and curse myself and give myself 50 lashings while we drive over to the field. So this part of it was a bit of an epic fail. So this ended up in the top of the field over there. So yeah, that was a bit of a fail. So we're going to do as much of this sugar beet topping as possible. We do have the Kubota down there, but ideally I want to at least get the headlands done on this machine, so we can then follow behind with the topper. So how many headlands? There's only one headland. Probably want that to be, oh no, it's 3 headlands. So we've got 3 headlands for this, and then we're going to go get Barry on the windrowing side of things. So yeah, quick time lapse. Let's get as much of this field done as possible, then we can get into the windrowing side of things. See how that works.
Flicker like a moth to the flame. Whiskey pools in my glass, calling out my name. The dust on the vinyl spins a lonesome refrain.
Little bit of a change of tact. So we're going to go into Kubota and we're going to drop this off. Oh, wrong tractor. Let's get it back into the Kubota. Move this out the way. Reverse this in. Not sure if the worker, perhaps if I lift up the machine. So if I drive this into here, try AI worker, 6 headlands. I don't know why you're off all the way down there, but nice. This looks like it wants to go this way. Let's lower this down, turn that on. Lower, turn on. It's on. Is it doing anything? Yes! So steering assist. So, as you can see, it is digging them up and then pushing them down into a line by here. Obviously what we would normally do is we would have the topper kind of taking the tops off, that is in that, and then the windrow behind it. So we're going to have to kind of do alternative swaths to see if we can get them in a single line, which will make it hopefully easier to collect. So next time we come round we'll be so we're currently going clockwise around the field, so next time we come round we'll be going anti-clockwise, and we should hopefully push them into a single swath, I hope. And then we'll deal with everything that we've missed, which will probably be an awful lot of stuff. But yeah, seems to be working okay. Not my ideal way of doing things. I probably want to use the topper and then... What does that do? Does that do anything? That's, what am I doing? Oh, topper. Turn on topper. Unfold topper. So, what am I doing? I'm failing abysmally. Ah, it's because I've... Mode. There we go. We want to just finish off this, off the headlands. We're going to jump into a time lapse and, yeah, let's hope we can actually get this done. I'm anticipating this is going to be more painful than we want it to be. But yeah, we're going to hopefully make a lot of money from the sugar beet.
The sky was gray when you walked away, and it matched the color of my heart. Rain on the windshield, you're standing still as I drive off in my car. Just like you said, I see the end. Yeah, there's no way around it. As I head west, I must confess, I'm better off without you. Now that I'm alone, I see it all so clear. Just one look and I knew you meant it. Tears falling and your face was wet, and baby, I tried to not let it affect me, but now that you're gone, I'm feeling a little less bitter. I'm thinking about...
It was at this point where I realised this was possibly a big mistake. Doing 2 fields of sugar beets. 1 field might have been okay, but I'm going to try and set this on an AI worker and see if it works. And then I can get on with doing other jobs, and that seems like it worked. He says in a very high-pitched voice. It also looks like it's going up and down, so we're going to jump in the Kubota. I feel like this tractor will be quite underpowered for what we need it to do, but let's try it and see if it can collect so lower pickup and note here, right, okay. Turn on beet harvester, so it can't do it whilst it's in that position, so turn on beet harvester, and then we're going to try, and it is collecting, so that's good, and it's quite wide. So where we've kind of windrowed these into the 2 rows into one, it has actually benefited us. We've done something right finally on this sugar beet harvest, so that's 10,000 litres, or 5,000 litres already, so 10%. So I can't imagine we're going to get much of this field collected in the time. So here's where it's obviously starting to struggle a bit more, 6 miles an hour. So we're going to go do our little trick of going up. Let's see if we can flip back round. So we're going to lift it up. Go back down the hill. And of course, with this attached, we've got no turning circle, so that's really, really handy. Do have quite a few weeds in this field. We are going to have to, if we want to have the winter crop scheme in place, we are going to have to, well, it would have been easier just trying to turn on the field, to be honest, at this rate. We are going to have to plant some oilseed radish in some fields to try and make sure. So where is Dave? Dave, where are you? Where is he? Why is he there? So what's worse about that is now we've just destroyed a bunch of crop. Thank you very much, Dave. So if we just change him, the other option is course play. So I want it on the first waypoint, field work. Let's try and do it this way. Field work settings, work with number of headlands. We want 6. Start work on the headland. Number of rounding coordinates 0. And then map, create course. Yes. Start. So hopefully he will just start working. So it's already windrowing and doing things. So we're on here. So let's see. So he seems to be coming up at us. So we're going to try and go down as far down here as possible whilst that work happens. Let's turn off course play from this screen. So obviously on the first 2 laps he's not going to be able to do anything, but I'm grateful I kept course play installed, to be honest. I was going to turn it off because it was annoying me on the grass field. So we're going to back up, pick up, coming to crush me, we're coming to crash into each other. So yes, this Kubota is massively underpowered for what we need it to do, but it is doing something. Where's he off? So he's doing something in that field. So we're going to go down, hopefully. There we go. So the pickup is down now. So we're going to let our good worker friend, who's got a brain this time, start doing the ups and downs. We're going to get on with the pickup. So we're 50% full. We've done a 2 headlands. So yeah, we're going to get this on a time lapse, and hopefully this won't be too painful, he says.
Once again I'm pouring bourbon down my drain, where it lands beside my tears and toilet shame. It tastes like I ain't made it through the fire, but God, it feels good.
Right, so one of the things I've massively observed, and I'm sure you have too, is this tractor is far too underpowered for this job. It requires 300 brake horsepower. I think we're at 170 odd. So what I want to try and do is, that would be nice, just 484 might do the job. So our Deutschland is 247, so that's not even going to be powerful enough to do this. JCB, no. So we're going to have to lease, basically, a big tractor. And given that we're leasing something, I feel like I use that one far too much. Not on any Let's Plays, but in the past. We've got the Massey Ferguson 9S. That could be interesting. Because essentially we need it twofold of being able to do this. Let's go for this 9S actually. So 285. Let's go for 370. Let's lease £14,254. Ooh, that's tasty. So we'll disconnect this. We'll go and pick up the Massey and continue with this harvest. Hopefully what that'll do as well is give Dave an opportunity to carry on with the ups and downs, and we should have more room. So yeah, we can drive this back, get it hooked up, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to continue the harvest. Oh, why is it blocked by an object? What is it blocked by? Honestly, what is it blocked by? So, let's dip that down. Turn that on. So our nearest waypoint again. Go. Go, worker, go. Okay. Once it's done the headlands, it should be a doddle, he says. But we're going to get into the Massey and attach to the pickup and hopefully get this harvest in a productive way. I've just dropped it down to real time as well, purely down to the fact that I think we might be here until about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then have to start doing the other field. So yeah, and with the other field we are going to do the headlands and then jump onto courseplay again to do the ups and downs. I think is possibly the way to do it, but we'll see. Optimism is waning at the moment, but we'll try and get that back and hopefully have a quiet word to myself in the next time lapse. So just getting back to the field. I always find this is an extremely tight area, hence why I usually just skip to get to that point, because generally I'm crashing. Yeah, it seems to be good. Hopefully the Massey can pull the tractor. We also need to see what area we need to sell this to, and do we sell it direct from the machine or do we truck it into a trailer? Let's have a look and see how many litres are in this, and then we'll see how big our trailer is as well, because that's going to give... So we've got 37,000 litres in here, and our Bailey trailer, Bunning series, is 26,000. So yeah, ideally I want to sell out of this. So in terms of sell points for these prices, sugar beets right in my eye front, so that is Agro DE. Agro DE is right back. So yeah, we are going to have to chuck it into a trailer because the sell point won't allow us to drop it in. So yeah, we're going to do a couple of loads of this. So I might try and do something actually. So let's... I'll unfold it. Does this work? So let's get into the Kubota again. Generally worried about Dave, but he seems to be moving on the map. Are we going to fit through this gap? Nope, but we have got through it. Yeah, he's doing alright now, cooking with gas. Right, how do we... This is unload here, but I don't want to necessarily do that. That's on. Yeah. So that's just dropped it there. Ah, don't want to do any more. Close that. It's surely a pipe. Oh wait there, so I think if we just drive to the sell point we can just pump out the back rather than going on a pipe. So let's turn the wagon off, let's get to the pipe and see if we can just up the loads direct into the sell point. So I'll meet you back there. Right, so we're going to attempt this. It's in the sell point, I believe. So we're going to have to... Oh god, it's not going well at all, is it? So unload here. Don't have access to land. No, I don't have access to this land, but it's a sell point. Oh, this is just a realms of epic fails of how not to do a beet harvest. Right. Plan number 2. Well, actually, let's have a look. Is there... Nope. So there is no sugar mill. I was thinking of, can we just lease one? Get this turned to sugar. I'm going to go have a quiet word with myself again. I've already thought of the title for this episode of how not to do a sugar beet harvest. So we're going to get back to our yard, and I'm going to do option number 2. Because I can't think of anything else to do. Oh, we want to go left. Let's go left. So yeah, meet you back at the yard. Hopefully it won't be too long. Right, I've gone for option Bravo, which is I'm putting a sell point on the yard and see what happens. We can dump the sugar beet in there. And we should, yes, we are making money, finally. So that's one load of sugar beet in, and that seems to be a decent proportion of money. So that's 11,000, well, basically £12,500. Starting to feel a bit more worth it, but we're going to leave the episode here, and join us next time for the sugar beet harvest. Can we pick this up actually? Well, we're going to try and pick this up, and then we're going to leave it here. We will continue with the joyous sugar beet harvest, just purely because why wouldn't you? Yay, it's worked. Something's worked. So that was 4,000 litres. He hasn't made much progression, but yes, we're leaving it here now. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed me going through complete and utter turmoil and pain, then please do remember to leave a like, and if you can subscribe, I'd be most grateful. And the worker is blocked, and that's the 3rd time he's been blocked at exactly the same point. But yeah, we're going to leave Barry alone in the field to finish this off, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.